Now, many athletes complain about two-a-days. You often hear football players, the two-a-days of the preseason. But if you want to become a better endurance athlete, doing two-a-days is actually a really good way to put in more training safely, because one of the biggest things is you're not trying to be boring. You end up being epic. You put in more miles, you get tired, and so you don't race everything. You do the right training the proper way. So I'm out here Tuesday afternoon, did 80 minutes in the morning, gonna do about 40 minutes this afternoon here on the busy street at 24th Street, doing my little 2-3 mile loop. But yes, two-a-days. Generally, most athletes do the longer bulk of the workout in the morning, and then the afternoons are mainly just recovery workouts. So I go out at 6 a.m. and 5 or 6 in the evening, or like yesterday I met my friends and did a hike, but today I'm just doing solo, so something a little shorter. Now, injuries happen, of course, but it's how you manage them. You know, I wake up every day with something kind of bothering me, like my left hip and my left plantar fasciitis kicking up, so you just modify the workout, or not do the workout, or like me, do a good warm-up. So I got this ProForm stationary bike, ride it for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm out here doing the workout. And today is just easy, even though it sounds like I just went hard, but I am trying to improve my running speed, and why I'm doing it is just doing short little 500 meter repeats. So I can't hit a certain speed. My heart rate's just in a bike below 100, so I'm just getting some conditioning. I spend a lot of my days talking to athletes, friends of mine, and people I coach about injuries. In fact, I'm talking to a young lady who I'm working with for years, and she's a 3 flat marathoner. It's almost broken 3 several times, and she stays pretty healthy. But you know what? She went out skiing the other day and hurt herself. It's kind of like you gotta pick your choice of what you want to do. Do you want to break 3 hours, or do you want to go skiing? And you know, I guess many people say, well, I shouldn't have to choose between the two of them, but it just depends on your goals and what you really want to get. But skiing and distance running don't really mix unless it's cross-country skiing. Watching the NCAA Indoor Championships and cross-country this past weekend, you know, a lot of the theme of the announcers were injuries and how athletes were coming back from injuries, responding from injuries. And you know, one way to get rid of, not have many injuries, is routines help in injury prevention. And you know, you need a warm-up routine, you need a cool-down routine, and you need some prehab instead of doing rehab. You know, my prehab is I've been doing the kettlebell. There's some awesome programs online. One of them I use gives me all kinds of different workouts every day, and I definitely have been helped by that since my fall. In fact, yesterday in the pouring rain and muddy conditions, was slipping and sliding quite a bit, and the old me, 57, 250, would have been on my ass or gotten hurt. But now that I've been doing kettlebell workouts for the past year, I was able to catch myself and not fall and not get hurt. So I highly recommend that. It was interesting watching the coverage of the indoor meets, especially Dwight Stones and Dan O'Brien. Dwight Stones, of course, high jumper fame from, my gosh, the Olympics in the 70s. Still commentating, still really good. One of the things I really liked was how, and he's get chided for this, and I get the same thing, he was very sociable and having fun when he was competing. You know, and in between his jumps, he would watch all the other events. And you can tell he's just a fan of track and field. He's very knowledgeable, and he used that from the start. And he used that to help him in competition, not being so laser focused and on the competition, his competition. You know, when it was time to jump, you know, a couple people before he was going to jump, he'd get back on game focus. And I tell people all the time in endurance events, especially, you know, treat every race like a mile, 4 laps. You know, it can be a mile where you're just doing 400 meters at a time like I'm doing this evening, or a 100 mile where you're, you know, 25 miles chunks. First 25 miles, you need to have fun, socialize. You can't be focused and getting all aggro. And second 25, still need to just kind of, you know, enjoy the time, focus on your nutrition, things like that. You know, that third lap is where it's important, where things fall apart. And then, of course, the fourth lap will take care of itself. You take care of yourself. Interesting also, Dwight Stones was talking, I've never heard him talk so much about his own coaching. And he was talking about his favorite high jump athlete to coach is a 300 meter hurdler, because it's like the hardest event in track and field. And I know those kids definitely work hard. It was interesting, he also said that mainly most of his clients are female, and the reason is because of scholarship opportunities, especially with Title IX. There's just not a whole lot of opportunities for men in the college, which it sucks. I mean, here we have a Cal State Bakersfield, and they have women's cross country, but they don't have men's cross country. They even have women's sand volleyball, but it's just a numbers game. So, yep, it's just, my old saying all the time, stay healthy, be boring, not epic, and that's how you get better over the years.